Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, and it is a follow-up on the nice kind of little back and forth testing that we did with Hearts as one as well as the long range warfare. So what is today's video? I'm going to basically explain the talent system and my thoughts on what you should be doing, and this is what I am doing. So I've already done my reset and I'm going to explain everything in today's video and give you the hopeful advantage you need at the start of your seasons. Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and yes, we're gonna go over talents, and obviously we can go back in time here. I've got some old footage of at the beginning of the season and I'm gonna explain kind of the talent section here without obviously the ranged assault being in question, and go into how you can actually take advantage of this, because if you use your talent system correctly, honestly you can grab the biggest advantage in your merits, obviously your CP gain and more, right? So when we start in the season, you will start to get some obviously talents from doing stuff, right? And the first things that I will always recommend you will unlock is going to be these first two here, right? These first two in battle preparation is going to be great because this is going to give you more prestige gained and CP recovery. And the thing is with it, you need to make sure when you are going into your season T1, make sure you take this straight away, because your talent quest will give you that straight away in your, free talent quests. You can take that, put this in before you touch anything, so you know from the very get-go you're gaining maximum efficiency, right? Really, really, really important that you do that. Obviously, with that, you're going to gain, if we go into actually the main game and we switch over to obviously a little bit more of the modern look of what it is, we can see here these different obviously types of talent quests. And with the talent quest though, what's really important is, like I was saying, in the way they are unlocked. So at the beginning of the game you will get two, as you can see. You can get two straight away, and you can get one from getting 500 patrols, which is quick. But what you will be getting really, really quickly is these golden dreams and the land of the snow. And what I mean by that is when we go into our little timeline, what it means is golden dreams is the very second or most important stage of your Augustone. This is when, obviously, depending when you kill your Darklings, 12 hours afterwards, that is when your behemoths will be set. So just for an argument's sake, if the last 80th thousandth Darkling was killed at 20 UTC, it would mean your behemoth would be spawning no matter what in the season, always at 8 UTC, 12 hours directly afterwards, right? So it's very important. If you want a really early one, you get this done really quick, and obviously if you want a later one, you kind of slow it down. But like we were more talking about though, you're gaining that activity crystals or your talent crystals for doing this, right? And now you're going to be able to do a lot more stuff, because with that you have 3 plus already the 2 from the new start. And like I said, if you do as I state and we go back into the olden times, right, not in the current video, but if we go and showcase this footage here, you'll notice we gain the ability to get that battle prep. And what you can also take, if you really, really wanted to, and I will say, because I did save my crystals for quite a long time before making the video that I'm using in the background, but if you actually, go for 1 here and 2 here, what you can actually do with one of your spares is actually put your 3rd point here and allow you to get in and out of obviously PvE zones quicker, obviously help you gather quicker because of the march speed bonus, and obviously help you in Behemoth. So really, really good little foundational start. But you will get more activity crystals, and this is where I will start to change stuff up and before a reset happens. Because if you are honestly going into war and you're going to be fighting, you are going to change your route to what I'm going to suggest. But if you are going into a zone where it's a lot more free and you're just farming and you're just, trying to maximize your farming potential, I'm not going to lie, guys, you should, in all honesty, take this little keystone just at the early stages before you do your reset. Might not sound great, but honestly, taking an additional pet early on in the early game will help you in the long run before you do that reset, and you'll be surprised. You might get lucky and get that 2-star pet that you've been waiting for in the zone. But once you get to this stage, you can obviously look at different things and depend where you want to put your actual points. But what we're going to do now is actually switch into the real mode, because what I'm going to suggest is you kind of use this eco tree as long as you can before you go into war. And then when you go into war, what you're going to be doing is one of two main things, right? You are going to be switching your talents, and this is the current talent tree that I am running. And if we just move myself even just a little bit to the left so you can see all of the talents a little bit better, there we go. We can now discuss what the plan is. And it's very similar still to what we've done in the past with the last tree. But what I've done here is reset it on purpose so I can actually change some of these talents, because obviously from testing, I wasn't too happy with it. And I'm going for what I'm going to call the safest talent tree that you can go. Honestly, if you go with this talent tree, it is safe as hell. It means you won't honestly get penalized in any sort of way. But if you want to specialize in a certain comp, I've got you covered as well, right? But we're going to go through this one first, because I think this is the safest one that most players should honestly take. If it's their first season, they're unsure, and maybe the counts aren't the strongest, this is one what you can do, right? So we still keep the prestige gain here. The prestige gain is the first thing we're going to take straight away still, and you're going to have obviously a bunch of points to do this, right? And I'm going to try and total this up as we go through, right? So we're hoping we're going to have, by this time, you're in the zone 2 now. So I'm in Forgotten Lands now, fighting against my enemies. This is when I need to do my reset. So we're going straight away still for the prestige gain. We need that prestige gain for the long term. I don't care what anyone says. But what we will be taking straight away afterwards is this newer talent. It's a great funky talent, and when we actually click on it in game, what you're going to see is it gives you 20% more merit through combat, which is amazing. Even if you're not in combat, and I'm going to explain that in a moment, you're going to gain that 100k reset weekly, and that's amazing. You get an extra 80,000 merits saved instead of going for that 20k on the hard reset. You get 100,000, and it's going to help you tremendously in the long run of your account, right? Especially in this season. So now what I've gone for, as you can imagine, when we go into here, straight away, I went and took my 3rd point into the march speed, and my 4th point, I instantly put into this keystone. And some people, I understand, and there's an argument, and I'm going to go over that later, but with this keystone, it just ensures my heroes have always got stamina, and more importantly, my war pets have the stamina, because I might not have, you know, all of a good foundation of a war pets, right? I might have 6 war pets which are good, and they're the 6 that I'm always going to be using, meaning they're going to get drained if I'm using 2 different mage marches but using that exact same pet, right? So we need to obviously circumvent that. But what I've done then after here is choose, and you can choose to go 2 different ways. I've gone down the ranged way, and I've gone down the safe choice, right? And what this means is I've gone for the big normal attack hit and the rage gen. So if we make that 6 look a little bit better for you guys there, right? So we have 5 and 6 in place now, and this is kind of where I had obviously my last point, and we put it into subjugate as number 7, right? So that is the, you know, total way I kind of place these skills. And the reason why I'm doing this is, honestly, from my testing, I'm not honestly too keen on this heart as 1 talent. This heart as 1 talent, from what I've noticed, maybe I'm wrong, it's only giving 1.5% for, you know, all of those marches, meaning if I have 5 marches out, all of them are getting 1.5% extra attack. They're not gaining that, like, crazy 4.5% bonus that people are imagining. I'm not really seeing that, right? So the normal attack actually is a really safe bet, because honestly, it just means your mages might hit a tiny little bit better. It doesn't really matter. But if you do use your archers, especially Syndron and Freyga, guess what? They're getting 3% more damage, and they kind of love that, right? And the same kind of thing is for my Arcane Torrent reason. Arcane Torrent, I think, is a really good choice, and I think if you're a T4 player, you honestly should be picking this talent pretty much 10 times out of 10, unless for some reason you're an Archer main and you have all the Archer heroes and Awakened State. Maybe that's where you want to go for, right? Because Arcane Torrent is just giving you 5 extra rage per second, which is really good when you see it in the battlefield, and an extra 10% more hero skill damage, which means even though mages are already known to be the kings of AoE PvP combat, and that's why everyone loves them, you're going to be hitting even more. So with this extra damage and this extra rage, and you can imagine you're going to get more merits now because of it with the Glories of War, I think it's just way better. It's way safer for you to go for, right? But if you do want to go for the long-range warfare, I understand it. This might be the secret to a lot of the marksmen. And maybe in the future seasons, a lot of players might start to use this over Arcane Torrent. But for me, long-range warfare for my account isn't enough. You know, I lose too much damage, unfortunately, to make this viable for my T4 archers. Let's just say that, right? But when we go into actually talking about like Subjugator here, Subjugator is really cool because it says your Legion gains Subjugator upon entering battle, increasing their attack by 0.5% every 1 second, going up to a maximum of 5 stacks, meaning we get 2.5% extra attack. And it's really cool because, to be honest, I've noticed this being triggered in actual combat, so it's a really nice one to get. So if you have any more points, which you are going to get, what you can do is a couple of things. I'm not going to lie. If you really wanted to try it with your next points, because if we go into my talent quest and we just kind of get rid of the numbers on screen now, we don't need them. If we look at the quests, I am going to get a bunch of, talent stones still. So I can get 3 and 5, and I'm about to get 5 very, very soon. So the 5 I could basically put means I can put 4 into suppressive fire, and I have 1 left over, and I might save it, or maybe we put it into, maybe turret shields, who knows. But we'll probably save it for now. But it means you also have the opportunity to, if you want to, go for rebound. And then it means later down the line, you can actually get the martial fortitude as well, which is very, very powerful for infantry. So, it's really, really cool. And I'm not going to lie, for myself, this is the way I am going to go. I think I really like the fact that I have this rebound damage factor. It's very, very powerful for infantry players. And then the martial fortitude is insane, reducing you basically all your damage taken from ranged units by 15%. It's great, man. It's just a really needed talent for infantry. It's going to make them survive a lot longer, and especially with rebound and like Goresh Skogul, you're going to be dealing so much area effect and counter attack damage. It's going to be a fun time, right? So that is my talent page, as you can see, and obviously, like I said, we're talking about these 2 to finish, which is martial fortitude and rebound. So this will be on your 8th and 9th pick, and if you've got anything spare, it'd be up to you. You can go down this tree if you really wanted to, right? And that's how I would call it, the safe talent tree, right? So what we're going to do now, though, is pretend this doesn't exist, and we're going to go down what I would consider another really powerful tree. This is more for if you really, really want to go balls to walls, let's just say, because some people are arguing, obviously, you might not need swift supplies. There is enough, obviously, stamina in the game now, especially with, if you look into your policies obviously granting you that extra stamina here, going all the way up to plus 50, which is great for your, obviously, heroes. So in theory, people believe they might not run out of stamina as easily in this season, right? And if that is the case, that would mean we might not need swift supplies like they're arguing, right? So what we can do now is actually go down a different talent tree, right? And what we're going to do in this talent tree is very similar to, like, what we've kind of just done. We're going to explain the different choices in here, but it's going to be a more aggressive based talent tree. So what we're going to do for it is still go down this route where we go 1 and 2, and we're going to grab this now on 3. and this on 4. So this is kind of like your base. This is what we're going to call our base. This is obviously 3 points. This only costs us 1 point. This costs us 1 point here. And obviously afterwards I will explain how many points my build costs. I did, forget that, but we'll add it on to the end. So this is like the different start. Nice and easy to start. And what this means is, as you're merit farming potentially in the game, and even just fighting, most players will hit 200,000 quite easily in their account. I'm all ready if we just kind of, check out the leaderboard, for the merits. I'm currently on 462, so I have 2 triggers of it. We are now ranked 6, waiting for one of our, infantry battles to finish, as you do. But as you'll notice, this is every 200,000. So I'm already getting 0.2% extra damage dealt from just, merit farming, which is a very, very cool thing. So if we draw this back up for you guys, so you guys can obviously see it, since we are trying to... Ooh, we need to minimize this, though, because this is causing chaos right now. If we draw this back on now and even just do like a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So nice and easy. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's kind of down to your choice on what you want to choose, right? And one way you can go, if you're being a specific archer main, I will recommend going now for 5, and if you really, really wanted to, 6 here, so you're not going down the mage route. This is honestly very good. You're getting normal attack damage for your archers, which is very good. You get that really long range, and as I've kind of done a video on it, the long range is going to penalize your damage. Yes, you're going to lose out on some damage, but you do have the positional advantage now, meaning you should be able to last longer because you're not as targeted as the guys that didn't take this talent, right? Which is really, really key. But the thing is, certain builds for archers, like T5 players might say, this isn't going to be great for stuff like Kanara and Hosk that needs to be targeted and wants to be targeted, right? So it's going to be a bit of a weird one for you guys, but this is a archer, route. And then for obviously the end, you would go for this subjugator and then finish up here on 8. And depending on what you want to do, you can actually, leave your points and either put them down into this battlefield dominion, or if you really want to go something spicy, maybe you go down, this actual route where it's all about turrets specifically, and you might be surprised that turrets might do a lot more damage. But this is another build you can easily go down when we're talking about, archers for your account. You can also do another build and from here, and this is exactly just running the same kind of style, but instead what we're going to do is more focus down on this side, and what it means is we're going to go for 5 and 6, and then we will put 7 just next to it because I'm hiding it. So what this is the cavalry build, right? So if you want to play calves and you actually want to deal a ton of damage through your unyielding rush triggers and stop taking damage, this is the tree that you want to go down. You can also argue as well for the same case that, we go 1 here and go for, your 2, 3, 3, 4, and then obviously going now into 5 and 6. You can do something like this as well. It depends on what you want. If in your season, out of these 2 talents, you might want the War Pet Stamina. I do. If you don't want the War Pet Stamina, you can just go for, obviously, this one and get more damage dealt. It's a really good talent. I'm not going to lie. It's a really powerful talent. So those are basically the talent pages in, essence that you can run in Call of Dragons. I'm not going to lie. There might be another 1 or 2 that some people might recommend. But the whole purpose of this is so you guys understand that you are going to be taking, this little route down here in the early game. Just get as much PvE content, value as you can. And when you're going into the war, then you're going to start switching up all of this. Because we can see, obviously, from even this Glories of War, I've already earned nearly 75,000 extra merits from just this talent alone. And I've only just started. It's this day 2. Or day 1, should I say, of it all. No, it's day 2 technically still, right? Because it's the next reset. So it's crazy. You're going to get a bunch of merits for doing it. You can see we're just merit farming away and leveling up infantry heroes. So I hope this helps. You know, if it has helped and it's giving you guys a little bit more, you know, information, and maybe, you know, you can see, you know, I'm giving you different talent builds at least. So if it's not just the best of the best, you can go down different routes, a safe route like mine, which is this one, or if you want to go down a different route, you know. But this build here, if you want to know how many talent points it's going to cost, this is free because of 1 and 2. This is going to be 1, 2, and 3. So this is 6 points. So in total, this is already costing you 9. And then this is your next like 10 points, and then this is going into 12 points, right? But you get that really, really quickly, like I said, through a new start, off of like getting at least 3 heroes to 50, and then just 2 of the standard talents unlock. You're going to have the exact same access of the stuff as I have, and as you'll see, I'm just waiting for Outbreak of War to get into the next bit of extra, you know, talent points, and then we'll be hopefully getting as well this extra one for the Rising Star, since we're almost at 600k. But that's it, you know, nice and simple. Talents are there just to help you make your unit stronger and honestly have a little bit of fun with it. And like I say, you can run potentially one of those builds first, and then if you wanted to reset it and change builds mid-season, you can do that too, right? It's your account, it's your decisions. All I'm giving you here is all the information that I've experienced so far playing Season T1 with the talent systems and trying to get the most value out of it. So, if you enjoyed it, smash like, comment, and subscribe. You know what to do. And tell me your thoughts down below. And until the next video, stay safe, guys, stay sneaky, and peace out.